Hello, friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind GodUpdates and God2, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Triplets graduate from Texas Tech together, all earning degrees in media and communication. Written by Heather Riggleman, read by Julie Provost. Some stories feel like they were sewn straight from fabric of heaven, stitched together by time, tradition, and God-woven threads of family legacy, as these triplets graduate from Texas Tech together, all earning degrees in media and communication. In the lives of Kate, Ava, and Truman Crawford, who just walked across the graduation stage at Texas Tech University, the very place where their grandparents, Joe and Betty, met decades ago. It's more than tassels and diplomas. It's generational full-circle grace, a God-given moment when past and present clasp hands and Lubbock's warm wind and hearts remember where love first bloomed. When we first toured the university together, it just made sense, even though we never thought we'd all end up at the same school, Kate said. But sometimes God has a way of gently unfolding what we didn't plan into exactly what we needed. The triplets grew up in Round Rock, Texas, under the gentle, intentional parenting of Clark and Amanda Crawford, who always emphasized that though they were born together, their individuality mattered. Growing up was really fun, Kate said. Our parents were the best, and we had a really fun but individual experience for each of us, really focusing on, yes, we are triplets, but we are also our own individuals. That's the kind of wisdom that let roots grow deep while branches reach wide, because each of the three pursued their own calling within the College of Media and Communication. Truman graduated in Public Relations and Strategic Communication Management. Ava found her place in creative media industries, while Kate embraced digital media and professional communication. The fact that the college had so many diverse programs that we all found something we like says a lot, Truman shared, and it does. It says something about the beauty of difference and unity, of siblings who cheer for each other in every lane they run. They shared the big moments, learning to ride bikes, turning 16, celebrating high school milestones. We've kind of all gone through everything together in life, Truman reflected. To have another monumental step in our life that we've all been able to do together, I think for all of us is really valuable. And in that, there is a quiet, sacred echo of what family is meant to be, walking each other home through every season, through laughter and learning, through the dust and delight of life in Lubbock. Funny enough, it all started with Truman. Truman really wanted to go to Tech, so we all went to tour as a family, and I think Ava and I were a little hesitant, Kate admitted. My perception of Lubbock was that there was a lot of dust, and that was pretty much it. But love has a way of rewriting what you see, because once I stepped onto campus and met with advisors, it clicked in place. When we got to Lubbock and did the full tour and spoke with advisors, it felt like the perfect fit, Kate said. And maybe that's how God works sometimes. He leads us to places we didn't expect, just so we can discover the parts of our story we didn't know were waiting for us. Now their paths unfold in different directions. Truman already graduated 6 months ago and now serves under Senator Brian Birdwell on the Border Security Committee at the Texas Senate. Kate will be returning to the Texas Workforce Commission as a campaign coordinator. Ava is headed to Austin with hopes of shaping her future in content creation. We're just really excited and we're going to miss Texas Tech, Kate said. But I think it's a good thing we'll miss it, because that means it meant so much to us over the last 4 years. And you can almost picture it, Joe and Betty somewhere in the stands, hand in hand, hearts full, watching the legacy of their love walk boldly across the stage they once stood on. It's more than a coincidence, it's the sweet, sacred timing of a God who weaves generations into grace, who let roots run deep and lets grandchildren stand tall in places their grandparents once stood. Because love, when it's sown in faith, always finds its way home. And this is the holy ground in cowboy boots and graduation caps. But the plans of the Lord stand firm forever, the purposes of his heart through all generations. Psalm 33:11.
At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love, because helping you put your faith into action is at the heart of what we do. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
Hi, this is Chris Benjamin. I am the producer for the Salvation Army's podcast, Words of Life. Words of Life is a 15-minute weekly show featuring testimonies, interviews, and conversations on topics impacting the church today. Some of our recent and upcoming guests have been author and podcaster Nicole Eunice,
So oftentimes I think that when we thought we were about to see a new season, we thought spring was on the horizon and it's actually a long, dark winter. Is it possible that God is doing something in that season?
Author and podcaster Rachel Wojo.
I really believe God wants to use the story. You certainly don't do it for fame. You certainly don't do it for any other reason other than you really want to meet people where they are.
And on some future episodes, we will have author and speaker Zach Clinton, as well as a special appearance by Miss Volunteer America, Berkeley Bryant. Listen to Words of Life wherever you get your podcasts or visit wordsoflifepodcast.org.
She survived 3 weeks lost in the wild, fighting off animals in snowstorms. Written by Heather Riggleman, read by Julie Provost. She survived 3 weeks lost in the wild, fighting off animals in snowstorms. Tiffany Sladen didn't plan to become a miracle. She only planned a 3-day solo camping trip in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Just a little fresh air, a little wild, and a lot of quiet. But 20 days later, she was stumbling out of a snow-battered cabin, eyes snow-burned, arc threadbare, whispering to the world, I am alive, and I'm sorry. Because survival, it turns out, doesn't always look like strength. Sometimes it seems like falling off a cliff, blacking out, splinting your own leg, popping your knee back into place, and choosing again and again to keep walking towards hope through 13 snowstorms and days of boiling snow just to sip water. Nature is quite terrifying, Tiffany said, quietly, her voice still raw with memory. Once you start finding things that are scary for you, you do your best to keep moving and get over it. And that's the sacred truth. Sometimes God doesn't part the sea. He just gives you the strength to keep wading through it. 40 miles from where she began, Tiffany was found just one day before her 28th birthday, by grace and a cabin door left ajar. Christopher Gutierrez of Vernon Valley Resort saw the shoes, stepped in, and then, here comes Tiffany. All she wanted was a hug, he said. That's what we all want, isn't it? When the snow comes hard and the wild won't let up, arms open wide, just someone to run to. When she finally got a cell signal, Tiffany called her dad. Dad, I'm alive, and I'm sorry, she told him, her voice cracking like kindling. Bobby Slayton's voice broke, too, because daughters aren't just born, they're survived for. And somehow, despite the bruises and blindness, despite the leaks and lost gear, Tiffany's blood work came back perfect. I would rather live, she said, than have to deal with my parents seeing that I failed in such a dumb way. But oh, daughter, you didn't fail, you endured, you kept walking, you were held. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23:4.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.
Hey there, it's Carly Mercourier, host of Therapy and Theology, a weekly podcast that explores popular topics and questions related to faith, feelings, and spiritual formation. Subscribe at lifeaudio.com.